2023. What a year for Tower Defense Simulator. Some may have found it boring, maybe some it was their first time playing and they really enjoyed it. Let's do something festive, I guess. I haven't opened any of these gifts yet, so might as well just purchase them. And there all the gifts are. Let's just open them up. Premium crates, an emote, a title, another emote, and a skin. And I think for my last game of this year, most likely, unless there's like an update tomorrow, would probably be this. I've done lots of challenges on Polluted Wastelands and I haven't won any this year. So let's just get into it. Well, here we go. Hopefully with a good enough team, we're going to be able to do this. Now, whether you're joining in to, I don't know, maybe celebrate the end of the year for TDS, or whether you're looking back in the future and wanting to see, you know, what was 2023 all about for TDS. Well, let's talk about it. The first half of the year wasn't really all that much eventful. Oh, wait, we don't have a commander. Let me be right back. All right, much better. I also brought my own medic just because nobody was bringing it. But as I was saying earlier, the first half of 2023, not very eventful. This is because there wasn't much happening. That's when kind of everybody just started joking about TDS only releasing skins. And it was actually kind of true, because at the start of 2023, I think one of the first things they had was the Ducky event. I don't even remember that much, because honestly this year it didn't upload too many videos on TDS, especially that very uneventful first half. And yeah, thinking back to it, pretty much all I can remember was basically nothing. Looking back at my channel, and I know you can't see it, but there really wasn't much happening. Now, one notable thing is the mortar rework. You know how the mortar now has cluster bombs that it drops? Well, back at that time is when mortar still sucked, like really badly. Like mortar would literally struggle to kill speedies. Oh my goodness. Let's not count this game. Okay, here we are, back. What was the topic about again? Oh yeah, mortar. Mortar's initial rework made it shoot extremely powerful bombs. Like basically nukes. Their explosion radius was like the size of this circle. I actually don't remember for a fact, but I know it was really big. After that, the mortar then got changed once again because that was way too OP, and instead it would be shooting the cluster bombs that we now know today. And that's basically like the only important thing I can remember from the start of 2023. I think the pursuit buff was also a thing. I also don't remember any skins besides the Ducky and Pirate ones, but I think the Pirate ones would come later. But I guess that just goes to show how basically nothing happened in 2023, at least towards the start. And I do remember rebalances. I actually remember that being a pretty exciting thing because everybody's like, oh my god, TDS taking balancing seriously now? Like, this is so cool. Or the game's gonna improve so much. But after rebalancing like 6 towers, they kind of just stopped. But hey, 6 towers is better than none. There's definitely a lot more stuff that I'm forgetting, but if it was really important, trust me, I would have remembered it. Basically, the entire first half of this year, just like nothing. Like the things I mentioned or the rebalances and the skins that they added, I only say that's nothing because, well, for a time period of 6 months, that basically like is nothing. On another note, it is time for Wave 22, which is the amalgamation. So expecting things to get a little bit rough here, but looking at our defense, I think we're more than equipped to take down this thing. And here comes the commander ability, and yeah, actually this thing is gonna go down with no issue. Wouldn't have thought that the amalgamation would be so easy, but it's a good thing that it is. And this should be all of my farms maxed. I get $20. There you go. I'm gonna now get some electroshockers just in order to have their defense melting capabilities. Yeah, there you go. 2 max electros. This is going to make a pretty big difference. There we go. Max out an accelerator. That's going to help out a lot. I should be able to max an engineer pretty soon as well. But continuing along with the updates that happened this year, then after the first 6, actually probably closer to like, no, yeah, around 6 months, they would have the community maps update, which, as is pretty obvious from the name, is literally about community maps. So maps like Honey Valley, I believe, the easiest map in the game, came with the community maps update, which means they were made by the community. And if I'm stupid and Honey Valley wasn't actually a community map, you still get the point. It was just new maps. After the community maps, it was, well, Lunar Overture. Pretty much. Okay, like, I know I'm skipping over some of the stuff, but Lunar Overture was the next big thing. And everybody kind of knows how that went. It wasn't a very successful event. First of all, though, our defense is looking absolutely beautiful. It's a lot of accelerators, engineers, even rangers here. I got medic here, which I will be chaining when the time comes, which will be on the final round. And, well, I'll be selling my farm slowly here to kind of finish getting my defense. As was being said, though, Lunar Overture was the next big event. It was supposed to be kind of a sequel to Solar Eclipse. Solar Eclipse was without a doubt the best event TDS has had, because unlike most normal events, there were 4 maps. The boss was super unique and cool. It had voice lines, which was a first for TDS, I believe, and it even won the Bloxy Award for Tower Defense Simulator. I'm pretty sure, at least. So yeah, everybody had really big expectations for Lunar Overture. We saw the same night system, and first night, that was actually really cool. But if you're watching this video upon release, I think you're pretty familiar with how that went. That was, of course, not all that well, because, okay, I said night 1 was cool and all. Then there was Act 2, still pretty cool, you know, had that Halloween theming to it. But something just really wasn't quite right about Act 2, because in Act 1 there were cutscenes, there was all of that made it a very cool act. You know, it made it feel like a preparation for the rest of the acts that were to come, which were going to be super cool, as presumed. But because Act 2 was kind of falling apart, you know, not exactly following the lore, that was a little concerning. And then when Act 3 came out, oh boy, that was a disaster. It was just really not ready. It was completely unbalanced. And so as a result, it was kind of like almost humanly impossible. Nobody really wants an impossible event, considering it's supposed to be this big lunar event that everybody was anticipating and had high expectations for. By the way, I'm going to start microing the medic here just to get constant heals. But that didn't go as planned, and well, there were also UGCs which were supposed to be making the event kind of more replayable. That wasn't exactly all that well functional, because it would break, and you know, having UGCs on an impossible event wasn't exactly a good thing. Eventually, though, they of course fixed it up. The event would become possible. They would buff the lights. The lights were the main way of killing the hands, which was the boss. Really unusual. And then there was, of course, the Christmas event afterwards, which, as you saw at the start of the video, had some unique stuff like the presents. There was also Quest that came out, and overall, TDS just seemingly got better. The co-owner of the game, Razwadix, was fired, and again, seems like the game is improving, so maybe he wasn't the best person to be working at TDS. And that brings us to today. Actually, I forgot to mention one thing. That was like some pirate skins that were a thing. Nobody was really excited for that because it was just more skins. But yeah, this is TDS at the end of 2023 here. Very excited to see what's going to happen in 2024. And all in all, I think the game is improving. There's also the release of TDX, which I think is boosting the quality of TDS by a bit. I just snuck out, and oh god, I'm dead. And yeah, that's because TDS has some competition now. So W or L year? I'd say more of an L. Again, nothing in the first half, and then that completely flawed Lunar Overture event. But again, from here, TDS is definitely going to improve. So unless there's like an event tomorrow, I'll see y'all next year. Like, subscribe, use Star Code E. Goodbye.